And we are back. Hope you enjoyed the duct tapes. It was the Shelby edition. It never gets old.
It's beautiful, mate. It's
never
beautiful. Oh my god. Again, if you're wondering, we have a pretty close relationship with some of the Latin American players and casters out there, and yeah, that was a beautiful duct tape that Vortex made for us. Oh, and people in the chat, you still have a couple minutes left, I believe, to get your predictions in for the grand finals.
Oh, I should do that. I forgot to remind. Oh, but you remember. Yeah, you got it.
Beautiful. There we go. ZvZ Grand Finals. As a reminder, and I should have reminded the players.
You're ref.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, they know. They've played this. They played a bunch of times.
They should know. But EnDerr does have a 1-point advantage.
Indeed, he does. And speaking of having a 1-point advantage, here we are now on Glittering Ashes LE. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, sweating all the way to the bottom left-hand corner. We, of course, have our blue Zerg player coming out from the land of the Philippines. He is, of course, going to be representing that Not Army Juggernaut, as well as the Zerg Muta Triangle. He has a +1 advantage in this Best of 5 Grand Finals. He is EnDerr.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Glittering Ashes LE, we have the Vietnamese Zerg player, the Grand Platypus himself, or the Grand Cat, or even sometimes, the Grand Pelican. He goes by many names, representing the Juggernauts. It is MeomaikA.
Of course, his most recent name being Ragnarok Slayer.
True.
Who's next? It needs to be a Protoss player.
I was trying to remember if there was a term for the Ragnarok Slayer, because if you remember in Norse mythology, like, Ragnarok was meant to destroy, like, everything.
The world.
So
I played Assassin's Creed, I know.
What stops Ragnarok,
Well, I believe at the end of it, there's like one tree, but I don't remember if it's Nordrassil or Yggdrasil. And then inside of that, there's like two, whatchamacallit?
Isn't Nordrassil from
from
Warcraft?
Is it?
It might be, I don't know.
So something still. There's a big tree.
Yeah, there's a big tree.
Yeah.
Big tree. Big tree.
So there you go. MeomaikA's a tree.
There you go, mate. There you go. Oh god. But meanwhile, EnDerr did go for a pool for us. The links are coming across on that. Meanwhile, MeomaikA went for a much more economic-based opener. Regardless, he should be okay depending on the micro. And EnDerr going for his patented macro hatch every time.
Yeah, it worked out really well for him once. It didn't necessarily work out for him too well another time. So in conclusion, the results are inconclusive. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. All depends on how well him and his opponents win.
Yeah, 50-50.
Like hindsight.
There you go, mate. As so far, the micro has been good enough here from MeomaikA. He hasn't lost a single worker. Ooh, I expect to see maybe up.
Hasn't lost a single worker. Beautiful.
Beautiful there, as MeomaikA does hold on to all of his drones. Some lost mining time here at the natural base, but the defenses are pretty solid.
And they're losing a lot more in terms of lings than MeomaikA, and that's really important right now for our red Zerg player, because he is going for a Link Flood, or a counter Link Flood, if you will.
Exactly. What's important is that if we look at EnDerr's vision, EnDerr did scout the Evo Chamber with his lings, so an Evo Chamber this soon has to mean one thing, and that is plus 1 melee, so EnDerr should be aware he is walling off immediately. Unfortunately, there is no Baneling Nest, so a little bit risky here from the side of EnDerr.
Yeah, there's going to be a Baneling Nest from MeomaikA. If he sees an opportunity, he can bust through.
Exactly. Ling Bane is going to be coming out from MeomaikA's side, and EnDerr, he wants to go straight into Roaches. Bold move, but that's honestly, now that I think about it, that's another great thing about going for a macro hatch like this, is that this wall is so much beefier than normal. There's just so much more HP, so it's so much more difficult to bust through.
Well, on one end there is, I feel like, with that Spore Crawler and with the Queen, there's a little bit less health.
What am I
Interesting
watching
choice
right
of
now?
the Spore Crawler.
Yeah, like the SimCity works. Like it's it's not
What if it
ideal.
was a Spine Crawler though?
I mean, spores are cheaper.
They are true.
So I imagine he's going to be he lets it finish.
Well, he needs to keep the Lings at bay.
Yeah, and I love it
One
because
way or another.
it's a door. He can just lift it. He can just uproot it whenever he wants.
Can't.
And he can transfuse to keep it alive.
I just realized that. Yeah.
Crazy.
So Zerg does have a door.
Yeah, just like that. Meanwhile, MeomaikA, instead of committing to Lingbane, he drones up and he throws down a Roach Warren. He knows that he most likely won't be able to break through this.
And he kind of gets a bit of a glimpse of the roaches of EnDerr as well, so he just is looking to... And he's meet him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that he is. Bless you, Yaku.
Thank you.
As he does, thankfully mute for everyone in the chat and myself as well. So massive shout out to Yaku for that micro. Already better casted than Milk. Meanwhile, oh my god, the Queens get surrounded.
So MeomaikA at least will get some value out from his +1. Actually surrounds the roaches as well.
Oh my god.
And there are even more where that came from. The Spore Crawler needs to reroute.
Mate.
Or not.
And with the death of those queens, there's no more transfuse. Like, this queen is so vulnerable right now. Instead, MeomaikA doesn't go for it. He's been droning up behind this. But regardless, he still gets value for his +1 melee.
He really does. Taking out 2 queens just like that. Less creep, less injects. Less everything, less transfuses eventually, but even more importantly, I think he is able to even out the roach count a little bit by taking out all those isolated roaches.
Oh god, that he does. Meanwhile, the Link Shop once again just delaying constantly the third base of EnDerr time and time again. What I will say though is that EnDerr, he does have a pretty nice timing with his upgrades, like +2 is on the way, so he can hit pretty hard with his roaches. It just hurts that he lost so many roaches so early on.
Yeah, it really does. Especially since MeomaikA is grabbing the Hydra, then if this is any other Zerg player, I would say he's gonna go into Lurkers, which is kind of what you want against roaches, but it's MeomaikA we're talking about. He's not gonna make a Lurker then.
Unlikely. As EnDerr, he's pushing out across the map with his roaches. Unfortunately, MeomaikA is here to meet him. We have equal upgrades, so it looks like no damage will be done. Meanwhile, MeomaikA is just trying to be as annoying as possible with his Lings here. Does once again keep an eye on that third base. And again, MeomaikA, like, man, he's got his third up for quite a while now. He's got all his gases mining as well. Hydra upgrades are on the way.
Yeah, muscular augments, so MeomaikA wants to get them across the map as quickly as possible. Not be wasting any time with Groove Spines. Well, at least not yet. Gonna get him eventually.
Oh, not yet. Meanwhile, the roaches are here across the map. Again, MeomaikA does have the numbers advantage. He's trying to break through, trying to get on top of those Ravagers of EnDerr.
Fantastic anti-timing here for MeomaikA. +2 is gonna finish for EnDerr pretty soon, but for as long as this engagement is happening, there is not going to be any upgrade advantage for either player. MeomaikA has a numerical advantage, though.
Yeah, he's
and
breaking.
That is why he's winning this.
He's breaking through. The boys have to be pulled as well. The Biles are connecting, though. So again, EnDerr, he's trading as best he can, but he lost his queens. He's losing drones. He could even lose these Ravagers. He probably will. No, not yet. Oh, he holds on to them.
Yeah, but loses 6 drones in the process. Once again, MeomaikA up almost 20 workers here, right?
Yeah, and behind this, we have Hydras on the way. And the annoying thing about Hydras is that they will be cleaning up the Overlords in the middle of the map, as well as providing that damage as well. To be fair, Roach Hydra honestly is worse, inferior to Roach Ravager, but EnDerr barely has any Roach Ravager at all. Like, he's lost so much supply already.
And he's about to lose a whole bunch more. This time in workers. But he's going to lose army supply pretty soon as well. MeomaikA mostly just looking to trade out a couple of these roaches so he can get more Hydras, it seems.
Yeah, and you know what? That's well worth it here for MeomaikA. 9 drones go down in a mirror matchup. That's huge. At the same time, Hydras are being pumped out. Again, dealing with a couple of Overlords in the middle of the map, whatever they can. MeomaikA, he's just waiting for +2 before he pulls the trigger and just sends everything across the map.
Yeah, he's got all his speed upgrades. Doesn't necessarily have the creep highway, but to be fair, do you even need it in a ZvZ?
sure MeomaikA wants it.
He does.
As long as it's made by overlords. As MeomaikA does maintain control of his side of the map. Well, he's getting pretty heavily supply blocked though. Oh my god.
Yeah, EnDerr's actually buying himself a lot of time. It's not making drones of his time, unfortunately. But
this is crucial because MeomaikA's been stuck on 146 supply for a while now, and EnDerr has been able to catch up.
Yeah, catch up very heavily when it comes to the army supply. Upgrades are about even for now. Actually, I think EnDerr has +1 carapace set. Yeah, he does. And MeomaikA doesn't. So EnDerr has the upgrade advantage for now, but I'm still pretty worried for him when it comes to an actual engagement. Sure he is.
I mean, we'll see. We do see MeomaikA trying to force an engagement here. I think he does have the better numbers, but again, the Hydras aren't the most ideal unit right now. We do have the Biles forcing some micro from MeomaikA, but EnDerr, with these reinforcements, he should be able to clean up.
Yeah, remember, every time MeomaikA micros away from the Biles, that's one volley that he's not utilizing and one volley that EnDerr is utilizing.
Yeah, exactly. And with this, MeomaikA should be just going straight back into Roach Ravager. And the game is kind of evening up. I say kind of. The supplies are even, but look at the worker count. Like, the worker difference is pretty huge here. Like, MeomaikA has the potential to remax so much faster. The thing that was holding him back were all these supply blocks.
Yeah, and they're just looking to continue that. It's the one thing that's kept him in the game for this long. He is starting to re-drone a little bit. Sort of alternating between workers and roaches for now.
Yeah, exactly. As he has to try and balance that and catch up in some way. Again, more of these. At this point, MeomaikA
always land.
MeomaikA, if you want to be this active with the Overlords, get Overlord speed, mate. You got the money for it. Just get. God damn.
Somehow these Biles always land in the Overlords, man.
Yeah, I mean,
even when it looks like they're not gonna, just the very edge of the Biles somehow connects with the Overlords.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, the Roaches of MeomaikA are trying to break on through once again, but he runs into the concave. The Roach Ravager of EnDerr. EnDerr defends again. If EnDerr fights at home, he has like the best advantage, despite having the much lower supply.
Exactly. He's giving me more Ravagers out right now.
Hold on, I need to look. How many Overlords have died this game?
Overlord.
8. MeomaikA has lost 8 Overlords so far. I wouldn't be surprised if we get to the double digits, but we'll see. MeomaikA, he wants to dive on this army.
Oh, but he dives right at the top of the concave. He does break up this ramp, though. It's a ton of Biles to face.
But mate, he's just got the numbers. It doesn't matter as long as he breaks through and gets into that juicy center of Ravagers. He so far is barely able to do so, and he does get a couple of those Ravagers.
He does, but the rest of the Roaches for EnDerr are able to keep them alive. More reinforcements are coming in. And EnDerr has some momentum on his hands right now.
Despite MeomaikA having the numbers advantage, GG gets called and EnDerr takes it.
Very well done. I didn't notice it until the very end there, but right at the end of the game, EnDerr had caught back up on workers as well. So every advantage that MeomaikA had was slowly getting slimmer and slimmer. The gap was closing bit by bit. EnDerr with some fantastic Biles, both on Overlords and on Roaches. He was able to just even things out when it looked like he should have been dead.
Yeah, I'm just showing it on screen here. You can see the economic advantage that MeomaikA had for the entire game, for basically the entire game. But the problem was he went into Hydras. And Roach Hydra is awful.
Roach Lurker, maybe.
Yeah, Roach Lurker is fine. But honestly, Hydras are not really what you want. There's a reason why we don't see Roach Hydra anymore. It just trades a little bit more inefficiently. And they just don't. Yeah, they're just Roach Ravagers is better in every single way, shape, or form. So MeomaikA invested so much gas into that, and it all kind of went down the drain, and it evened things up when it comes to the overall army. Like, MeomaikA doing MeomaikA things, mate.
Pretty much. And now, EnDerr's already on match point.
That he is, and now we're gonna be diving in. EnDerr only needs one more, and honestly, if EnDerr wins, here, if he becomes our champion, that's going to be huge because, mate, where have you been, EnDerr? You know, unfortunately, he's been a little bit sick recently and he hasn't been as active. But, like, if this is the form that we're seeing him in, like, it would have been great to have seen him in, like, the King of Battle qualifiers or the TSO qualifiers, right?
Exactly. God had to nerf EnDerr. First putting him in school, then making him sick.
Yeah.
Aye.
It's such a shame because all those open qualifiers, they ended, and maybe EnDerr would have had a good shot there, you know? All the other Juggernaut boys were there, like Beastalker, Joey, MeomaikA, but not EnDerr.
I just say, man, if MeomaikA can take out Ragnarok, I think EnDerr has a pretty good shot here.
Yeah, definitely. As we are getting ready for game number 2 here. As a reminder, EnDerr only needs one more to be our champion. Meanwhile, MeomaikA, he has to bring it all the way back. And to be fair, it's happened before. Last week, Joey pulled off the reverse sweep with the 3-2 over Demi.
Yep, and that was also at a point where Demi was just looking absolutely on fire to get to that match point, and then Joey. You fought fire with fire.
Mm-hmm.
So it is very possible for MeomaikA here, but we'll see. We shall see as we continue our best of 5 grand finals here on Hotwire LE. Hopefully we don't conclude it here, but we will continue it here. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. Our red Zerg player coming out from the land of the Philippines. He is going to be representing Juggernauts, the Knot Army, and the Zerg Meter Triangle. All 3 of them. He is EnDerr.
And spawning in the top right hand corner of Hardwire LE, we have the Vietnamese Zerg player opening up with a 12 pool, also representing the Juggernauts. It is MeomaikA.
So what did you say about 20-30 minutes ago, Light, that you just can't 12 pool a player like EnDerr or MeomaikA?
Yeah, I mean, EnDerr's going for a pool gas, mate. Like,
yeah.
Oh, God. We'll see what MeomaikA is going to be able to pull off, bearing in mind that, if you recall, in the ace match of MeomaikA versus Oreo, it was a very similar scenario, where MeomaikA went for the 8 lings to begin with, went across the map and overwhelmed the defenses of Oreo, even though Oreo went for a pool gas.
That did happen, but then MeomaikA kind of got a little too greedy, shall we say, and went back in with his lings at a point where Oreo already had enough defenses up. Maybe he's learned his lesson this time, and, you know, maybe he'll be able to pull away after dealing his initial damage, but I don't know, man.
If you remember, Oreo died that game.
To him. Was that not Berlinengrad?
No.
Wait, which game am I thinking of?
Oh god, as we do see the links showing up here for both players, but MeomaikA decides to take a head-on engagement and actually loses.
Yeah, he will be able to clean up the links eventually, but now he's left with only 3. Best he can really do at this point is just scout.
Yeah, exactly. Like, MeomaikA taking so many losses here means, like, any kind of momentum that he had is gone. We do see him trying to get an Overlord, and he will severely supply blocking EnDerr.
That's actually pretty big at this early on. You don't want to be making 2 more unnecessarily Overlords at this point when, you know, that larva could be drones or even lings.
I mean, even with the completion of the hatchery, it's still not enough to get EnDerr out of the supply block. Like, he has to wait even longer for the Overlord to finish up. But finally, it does, and finally EnDerr can get back into this game. But at least he has survived the early game.
And we'll see what the mid-game looks like from here.
Yeah, as MeomaikA does take a worker lead, but he's behind when it comes to the gas income and the tech, as link speed just finished up for EnDerr. And he's making another wave of links behind this. He wants to press his tech advantage.
And he should be able to. The defenses of MeomaikA aren't quite there yet. He's got 2 queens, enough to body block. Now 3. But they are very low energy queens, and they are still prone to being surrounded.
Oh god, that they are, but so far they do body block for each other on the ramp. 4 queens in total, that's a lot of queens, and MeomaikA, he defends.
Yeah, EnDerr still wants to get something done here. He's reinforcing with his lings, but MeomaikA is reinforcing himself. He is getting his own lings, and his queens are starting to get in position. Building up energy as well. It's enough, I think I see about 3 transfuses among these queens, now 4.
Yeah, there's plenty of energy for transfuse. We do have plenty of lings as well. We don't have a Baneling Nest behind this, but MeomaikA, he is trying to sneak out a very fast Roach Warren. It's on EnDerr to try and find some damage with these lings.
And he is finding it. Doesn't quite get to surround the queens, but he's still getting these lings. He's getting some drones. He's getting some drones. He's getting a drone.
And he goes straight into the main base. He finally does get a surround on one of the queens, and he will get them. He does get the drones as well, and goes straight into the main base.
That's drone drill from MeomaikA. Does get a surround on these lings, but the queens are so distracted. They're not attacking the lings.
The queens!
The queens! What are the queens doing? GG! EnDerr takes that series 3-0.
Ay, the queens.
That's how it ended.
Unfortunately, the queens were moved to the natural base instead of up into the main, so there was nothing to stop those things from wreaking havoc, and GG gets called.
Oh man, GG. EnDerr is your Grand Platypus Open number 81 champion. We all knew he had him in him. This is what we wanted to see when we saw EnDerr come back. The queens is really messing me up though. The drone drill was so good for MeomaikA. If he had the queens in position,
yeah,
he probably would have lost anywhere near as much.
Unfortunately, as we saw, the queens were just chilling at the natural, just doing whatever, just ignoring everything that was happening. Up until that point, things were looking okay for MeomaikA, but unfortunately, a little bit of miscontrol there, and that miscontrol cost him the game. And sometimes that's just ZvZ, mate. That's ZvZ.
Cost of the game, cost of the series. It's just ZvZ.
Wow, and just quickly looking back here, looking to see his run, and in the end, yeah, MeomaikA, he was the only one who could stand up to EnDerr. They went to the ace match earlier on in this tournament, but here in the grand finals, MeomaikA, he couldn't pull it off.
Wait, did he really not drop a map to any other player?
No, only MeomaikA, mate.
Only MeomaikA, and I did not expect this at all, because EnDerr has been a big name in the region for so long, but apparently this is EnDerr's first GPO championship.
Yeah.
He's made it to the finals a bunch of times, but yeah. Well played.
Yeah, GG, well played. It's now finally ringing true to me as well, now that you say it. This is the very first time that EnDerr has won a Grand Platypus Open. Wow.
But even when I say that, even when I look,
it doesn't sound right. Yeah,
the statistic, it doesn't sound right at all. EnDerr always has consistently been in the top of Southeast Asia. Again, we always compare him to MeomaikA and Gogo Joey for damn good reason, but I guess he just doesn't sign up as often as the other two.
To be fair, like, this year he has been more active and he has been signing up more, but he just hasn't found success. Like, typically when he signs up, he runs into, you know, your Joeys, your MeomaikAs, even Oreos or Starducks, and they typically stand in his way. But right now he is looking better than he has almost the entire year, which is, on the one hand, a great thing. On the other hand, a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah.
We were talking about
it's unfortunate timing.
Yeah, we wanted to see the EnDerr of DreamHack Winter 2020, for example, right? That's what we wanted to see for the entirety of this year, and we're getting it, but we're getting it after the DreamHack season has ended.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit bittersweet. What I will say, and it's a shame because it's so long, it's so far from here, but I hope EnDerr does stick with things, and I hope that we get to see him next year in DreamHack Summer, because I hope he's able to maintain his form.
Absolutely.
It's a long time from now, but I hope he's able to maintain and improve, and we get to see him again on that world stage.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, indeed.
But I do worry that EnDerr might only be informed in the November, December, like October, November, December months, if last year and this year is anything to go by.
I mean, mate, you gotta be in form earlier than that. Otherwise, you're not gonna be able to perform in DreamHack, you know. And that's the most important tournament for if you're a StarCraft player.
Yeah.
So, again, GG.
But
well played to EnDerr, and
yeah. I'm definitely very optimistic for EnDerr going into 20. Like, I'm even more optimistic for EnDerr going into 2022 than I was in 2021, or going into 2021, off the back of his DreamHack Oceania Championship. Because now, not only is he displaying a similar form, he is on Juggernauts this time. He has a lot more. He has a lot more support going into 2022 than he had going into 2021. At least when it comes to competing in StarCraft 2, and from what I understand, he should also have a lot more time to practice now that he's graduated.
Definitely. Like, I think something that we should be bringing to everyone's attention, for everyone watching and listening right now, Juggernauts, the team of MeomaikA, Gogo Joey, EnDerr, and Beastlork, they seem to be like a really good team.
Very much so.
As in, they might not be the most high-profile team, but it does feel like, from what we can tell, it does feel like their team does care about their players. Week after week, and even during the TSL qualifiers and stuff, like the team owner would show up here in the chat, would be cheering them on.
Yeah.
Again,
you love to see it.
Yeah, like they do support their players very well. Obviously, a little bit envious because, you know, we may have had our eyes on some of these players to be some cranky ducklings. The bidding war went down.
But we wanted to get into the Hong Kong region, mate. But Juggernauts Calibre, he just got to the desk first.
Exactly.
He got to the table first.
Exactly. But like, again, we're very happy that Juggernauts ended up becoming like a team that did definitely care for their players. And
you can see it represented as well in the performance. Obviously, MeomaikA and Gogo Joey have always been big names among the regions, but now they are taking it to a lot of players in other regions. I mean, Gogo Joey, after being picked up by Juggernauts, came in third in DreamHack Winter for Taiwan, Hong Kong. MeomaikA taking it to the beat Ragnarok without a doubt. But also Beastlork and EnDerr, it does seem like they have improved a lot more since being picked up by Juggernauts, especially Beastlork.
Like, maybe it's too early to say because, again, Juggernauts is still a new team, but I want to believe that they are going to be supporting their players for the long term, and it's going to benefit both them as well as the scene going into 2022. And going into DreamHack 2022 as well. Like, I can't wait until that season does begin, and I can't wait to see what happens with Juggernauts. You know, are they going to just stick with being a C-focused team with their Southeast Asian players, or will they branch out and try and find some other players? Like, I do know that they want to participate in World Team League. I know that is definitely a fact, and there are going to be more Korean players coming out. Would they sign a Korean player? I don't know. Lenok is still teamless. I'm just saying. But yeah, we'll see what their plans are coming into next year.
They're gonna have some memes though, for sure.
Definitely.
Looking forward to that.
Definitely. But yeah, with that, congratulations to our finalists and to our overall champion. Did you want to say anything else?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say Calibre is gonna be very happy with the performance of his players today, I think.
Oh yeah. They showed up hard today. They showed up hard. It's always a bit of a shame to see a team kill, especially in the finals, and unfortunately it was a 3-0, but regardless, you know, EnDerr, his return is looking good.
If there was ever a time to get a team kill, I think the finals is nobody's gonna be no team owner is gonna be disappointed with that.
Definitely. Oh god. And with that, you know, thank you everyone for watching today. I did see that, you know what, we got maybe some more viewers than we usually do, so it's great to see, you know, everyone tuning in for the first time.
Fans.
Exactly.
Came for EnDerr.
Yes. Before we head off, !Matcherino in the chat. We have 2 codes left. We have 2 codes remaining, so get in there, utilize those coupon codes. Before we head off though, hold on. I do have a request for the people in the chat as well. Last week's GPO, I should just preface with this. This is a weekly tournament for Oceania and Southeast Asia. We're here every single week. And unfortunately, last week we had our events, but the Matcherino codes were not ready. So we couldn't use the codes yet. So I do ask the people in the chat if you can to head on over to the GPO 80 Matcherino page, because the majority of the codes are still available there. Unfortunately, we got the codes after the tournament ended, so it's like so we weren't able to promote it during the event itself. So it's a little bit of a feels bad, but we do have plenty of codes remaining there. And and do it for Gogo, Joey, and Demi, because that is where last week's Matcherino editions will be going. This week's Matcherino editions will be going towards EnDerr and MeomaikA. Payouts, I think, is the word you were looking
for.
Payout!
There we go. The payouts, yeah.
There you go, mate. There you go.
So, yeah, keep that in mind. We have codes for both Grand Platypus Open 80, which took place last week, and Grand Platypus Open number 81, which was what we just casted. Actually, I mean, there are only 2 codes left for 81, so.
True. Meanwhile, something that I did want to say before we head off is I did see Shiva, and maybe there are other people from Australia that are watching right now talking about some Australian events. Is that I know that lockdowns have been pretty strict here in Australia, and events just haven't been happening. They've been postponed time and time again. It's been years. Actual years. Yeah, since our last offline event. But don't worry, there will be one in the future. There are multiple in the works. They're just waiting for things to open up. I have it on good authority that MJ, despite even some of the Australian players moving on to Age of Empires 4, they still want Ozcraft 2 to be a thing. Brizcraft, they want that to be a thing again as well. Azure is behind that. Yeah,
Azure actually has plans that he drew up, just can't implement them yet.
Exactly, Brizcraft, the first edition of Brizcraft was amazing. It was a beautiful event. We all flew over, I say we all, myself, Quirky, Lumia,
I didn't have anybody at the
time. Yeah, all the Australian pros flew over to Brizcraft, even if it wasn't the largest event money-wise. Everyone was still there. The Melbourne StarCraft Open.
Land down under.
Yeah. MSO, the Melbourne StarCraft Open, at MEO, the Melbourne Esports Open. That was a thing in 2019, and I know they want StarCraft there as well. There will be an event at some point. Don't worry. But when it does happen, just be sure you show up. You gotta be there. Just
Are
because.
You speaking to me or?
Yeah, you as well. Yeah. I mean, you're in Singapore. Just fly down. That's all you gotta do. Mate, you went to Berlin.
I didn't pay for that.
God damn it. Oh god. So yeah, maybe there'll be an event in Singapore at some point. We'll see. But yeah, eventually, maybe next year there will be an offline event again, and we'll be able to return. Especially because the first offline esports event was a couple of days ago. CS:GO. CS:GO in Germany.
True.
Yeah, they actually had a live audience.
They did. It's all coming back.
Yeah, so it's slowly coming back. Don't worry, everyone. We're gonna have StarCraft events again. Yeah, just gotta be patient. Gotta be patient, and try and be there for the online events whenever you can.
Yeah, just be patient like patience.
There you go. Join the military.
Yeah. Oh, has it gone already?
Nah, there's no confirmation. We don't. He could be dead for all we know. We have no idea what happened with patience, mate. Oh god. But yeah. With that, thanks everyone for watching. Yaku, are you gonna be streaming this week? Are you gonna ladder? There's a new season.
There is a new season.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I gotta get ready to play against Warbuff, apparently.
Apparently. What about SEA? Mate, you need the games for SEA, mate.
Wait, I do?
That's a new season.
Oh, do I stream those games?
If you do, where's it going to be?
Twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1, Twitter.com @Empore. Yakuzaku is where I will announce when I go live, if I go live. Don't want to make any promises in that regard, but I will be laddering, so.
There you go.
Some would argue that you might as well. If you might as well stream it if you are going to be laddering anyway.
There you go.
And !Discord in the chat is another place you can find me. If I don't stream on Twitch, I'll probably stream on the Cranky Ducklings Discord server.
There you go. There you go.
Another place.
Meanwhile, same can be said for me. If you want to tune into my ladder sessions, I'll be streaming over at light_VIP. That stream has been a little bit inactive for the past week just because we've been so busy with Team Liquid Star League 8 qualifiers and King of Battles qualifiers and all these events that have just been coming in. So unfortunately, we've been really busy and we haven't been able to stream ourselves, but that should be coming in the next week. So if you're interested in our solo content, then check us out. I'll be laddering some StarCraft and I'll be playing some Final Fantasy 12. I'm working through that. Again, I miss it. It's been a week since I played Final Fantasy 12, but I'll probably play tomorrow. Oh boy.
I'm Captain... I don't remember how the quote goes.
What are you saying?
The one time I tuned into a Final Fantasy 12 stream,
I'm Captain Bosch.
There we go.
Yeah. I can't. Bosch von Richten. I don't know. I can't remember what he said.
I haven't tuned into any of your other streams. Any progress from there?
Yeah. Plenty of progress.
Ah.
Yeah. The monastery just got nuked to me.
Ooh.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're interested in that, and check me out there. And yeah, with that, thank you everyone for watching. We will be back in 2 days with our next broadcast, which will be SEA-Duckling Open. That is our amateur tournament that we run for bronze to diamond players. So it's, again, for amateur players. If you want to participate, it's open to everyone from every region, so you can sign up. Otherwise, you can watch diamond players duke it out, and it's a lot of fun. Fun fact, you can see him in the chat, Starduck. He used to be diamond, and he used to be in SEA-Duckling Open years ago. So yeah,
and he got good.
Then he got arguably he got good. But yeah, the goal of our amateur events is to again have a regular tournament for amateur players to participate in, to be motivated to improve, and then ideally work up to masters and then work up to GM.
Yeah, just like Starduck and Oreo.
Just like Starduck, Oreo, Ricci, Ares,
Ryuchi,
Saberlight.
I think Neo missed it, unfortunately, but
he did.
I just came across it the other day. I was randomly scrolling through Discord logs, and he's like, "Oh, I barely don't make the cutoff." Like, rip.
Feels bad.
For MSO, I should clarify.
Yeah. With that, thank you everyone for watching. Stay tuned. We're gonna raid another StarCraft streamer, so give them plenty of love. Who's streaming right now? Let's find out.
Sky. No, he's not awake.
Skylar. Oh god. The dream, mate. The dream. Ooh, Hearthstone just went live, so we could give him some love. That's who I see right now. So yeah, if you wanna stay tuned, we are gonna give Hearthstone a bit of a cheeky raid, give him plenty of love. He just finished up his rank roulette finals and probably doing some other stuff. But yeah. Thanks for watching everyone. We'll see you in 2 days.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bella. I need water.